Hey there, Leo, Leo Rising, and of course, all of you Leo Moon people out there. This is your monthly tarot forecast for September 2021. And no, I'm not appearing on camera for the monthlies because there are a lot of cards here. A lot of people like to be able to see the cards, and I figure you can see me in every other video on this channel. So for the monthlies, we'll just do it this way. Don't forget, if you're watching your rising sign forecast, your rising sign is showing you a great deal of how a lot of your sun sign forecast is going to show up. And your moon sign, that's showing you the less prominent, albeit still significant, side story that is going on throughout the course of this month as well. And so the way we're going to do this extra Celtic cross is we're going to start on the left-hand column and do an appraisal of the month through its conclusion and the culmination, and basically talk about the whole point, what the journey is, the big journey all in one. Then we are going to go to the right-hand column and talk about money, messages, challenges, and love, because we want to do a comprehensive reading. We're not just going to fixate it on one topic. And then we're going to do the story with the cross proper. So let's have a look and see what is going on with you and how you're relating to your environment and what is going on there. You've got the Fool upright and the Four of Wands upright. And this month, it's all about getting into a completely new book, a completely new story, writing a completely new life story for you Leo people. Because the Fool card upright is showing me where you are essentially stepping in as a new character with a blank slate. I mean, you know who you are, but it's there. We are dropping out of a lot of different familiar patterns and a lot of familiar stories getting wrapped up. Some of them won't be getting wrapped up, I'm being shown. Some of you may have, some old business, unfinished business that really would just be a waste of time to try and go tie up loose ends, or maybe it's an emotional indulgence. Some people overprocess so they don't have to move on. Don't get caught up into that. But with the Fool card upright, you are getting a chance to actually start a completely brand new journey. And this is also transforming a lot of your character, because I'm seeing with the Fool card upright, there is a restoration of an aspect of yourself that has not been present in your life in a consistent and sustainable way, for at least 6-7 years, if not more. So there is this return of a self as well, possibly even things going back to childhood. But what's happening is as we realign with that, we are also getting a chance to basically start life on a completely clean slate. And with the Four of Wands upright, as far as what's going on with your interactions with your environment, this is getting fortified. This is getting supported. You are working with more accomplished people that are hardworking and very much in alignment with a lot of the world you want to build for yourself. World building could be a very good, paraphrase for the theme that's coming through here. Because with the Four of Wands, not only am I seeing you starting to spend a lot more time with those that you already know to be well achieved and at home within themselves, whether it's socially, professionally, in the family, or culturally or spiritually, but we're also seeing this as them actually giving you and providing you with a platform and a space to do the same for yourself. We're going to be working a lot more closely with those that we already know to be in not only their power, but they are actually helping us achieve and break through a lot of different milestones and hurdles that we have been working to transcend over the course of the last, I'm seeing potentially 2 to 4 years. And these reliefs and releases are also coming through this because you're getting a new haven. And with this Four of Wands, what's happening is there is this setup for a newfound stability that continues to grow and achieve itself. And for those of you who are like, when is this going to get more grounded? Do not worry. We're working on the left-hand column. It'll get more grounded as we get to the right-hand column, okay? As we talk about the, hopes and fears category, or the primary concerns, or as I like to call it, the bottom line of the month, got the Page of Swords upright. You are getting uplifted into a space where you are interacting and engaging with more higher caliber opportunities, and higher caliber connections, higher caliber and higher quality relationships, existing friendships, and new connections and affiliations. However, you are also going through this massive life retraining process as well, so that you can, of course, be one that is a match for it, right? We have to be a vibrational match for something, not just law of attraction, but law of vibration, law of correspondence, not just to attract something and manifest it, but also to have it, sustain it, and evolve it, right? It's way more complicated than just gimme, gimme, gimme. And with the Page of Swords upright, this is a month where you are having this accelerated learning process that is also taking you up many, many steps in your growth, in your maturity, in your prowess, in your social in not only your social prominence, but also your ability to perform, to excel. A lot of you may find that this is where we are also going through a lot of training and retraining in other areas of our life, learning how to maybe speak different languages, literally and figuratively speaking, maybe things that you have to learn for your job or the job you want, for the accelerant or the promotion that you want, the kind of family that you want. But the Page of Swords upright is, of course, inquiring and educating the whole way through. As we get on to the culmination, right? If we do all of this work, how are we going to end up at the end of September going into October? We've got the Empress upright. And now we are sitting in a space of complete fecundity, abundance, happiness, wealth, in a sense where you are able to actually start what I'm seeing here, the message is coming through, is starting a whole new track record, starting a whole new legacy. It's kind of like breaking with tradition so that you can have a completely new realm and future and ripple effect on the world around you. And it is very much a wrapping up, again, of a lot of the life that you've carried up until this point. The Empress is setting you up for a new longevity. Yes, there are a lot of material comforts coming through here. Yes, this is setting up a completely new precedent when it comes to how you engage in your love life, when you engage in family, and a newfound sustainable harmony that is also going to be maintaining things to be able to always perform at their best. With the Empress card upright, a lot of you may be actually building a whole new world for yourselves when it comes to not only your work and your relationships, but even your home environment. Whether you're literally building a new home or literally moving to a new home, or some of you may also be finding that we are just simply transmuting and transforming it into something that carries the quality of a life of its own, that is always holding space for things to stay in their highest form or in their highest performance, in their highest quality as well. So this massive focus on evolution, improvement, and ongoing, excellence, lifting everyone who chooses to do the work, right? Because watching a reading isn't the same thing as doing the work. It's going to lift everybody up who does it, okay? Who follows through with these themes, who participates in these themes. Now, getting on to more of the mundane on the right-hand column, when it comes to money and your finances, your job, your professional pursuits and aspirations, you do have the Ten of Swords upright. And this is going to, there's going to be a point this month where you have to bring a very difficult, very trying, possibly even costly circumstance to a close. And some of you may be, enacting a harsh end to a harsh situation, or there may be a very strong, very stark punctuation to a situation that's not getting better. It's not improving, or it could be the end of that trend or the end of that system as it relates to your work or your finances. Some of you may be quitting your jobs because you found something better. You found something better to do. Some of you may be actually abandoning a project or abandoning a career pursuit in favor of something better. Some of you may be doing this because you are noticing that something going on in your career or your employment situation or the market is not actually taking you down a road you want to go or want to keep investing in. Some of you may even be breaking or severing alliances or partnerships that are proving to be more trouble than they're worth. Now, this can show up as, maybe, severing a business partnership, firing a client, or cutting off your availability to a certain population of clients or customers, or maybe even breaking with something that you have been supporting or sending a lot of your time, energy, or money to. This could also indicate a move that may create distance with a certain community or certain people that you are used to working with and engaging with consistently. And it will be painful in the beginning because, again, there is an era coming to an end. And even if it's not necessarily an era you're happy with anymore, it still may be a tough thing to enact or complete, but it must be, something you have to do for something that is better. That's going to, I think you're going to get what you're quitting for, what you're leaving for, what you're jumping for, before you actually, do the deed. Okay. So don't think that it's going to be just hell in the beginning. I think you're going to see why you're doing it and what you're doing it for beforehand. As we get onto your community, friends, relatives, other people in your life, you do have the Ace of Pentacles reversed. And there is going to be a point this month where you have to pay attention to certain relationships that are staying down in the dumps on purpose, that are staying dysfunctional on purpose. This is a tough thing to look at every once in a while. Where is it that we may have to accept that maybe dysfunction, disharmony, or any kind of decline, or just simply a blockade to growth could be coming through energy that we share with others, projects that we share with the wrong people, or space that continues to reintroduce disharmony or that energy of lack and decline. And how do we redraw the boundary there? It's none of our business why somebody would keep doing it to themselves voluntarily, why somebody would be trying to maybe romanticize dysfunction, right? Fortify, empower, or lift up disharmonious behavior or lower reality behavior. But with the Ace of Pentacles reversed this month, because you are doing so much work in building an ideal world for yourself, you also have to be mindful of what people would be bringing into that world and what that's going to do to that world. As we get on to your challenge this month, got the Ten of Cups upright. There is no real pervasive long-term challenge to be spoken of. The Ten of Cups, I don't see something that's going to be dogging you day to day to day. However, your personal challenge, what you're challenged to do or to take on as a personal challenge this month is pay attention to being a good keeper of sanctuary, a keeper of peace, a keeper of the sanctity of your own space. And that is important. We have to take responsibility for it, right? It's like, take responsibility for the energy you bring to a space, yes, but also take responsibility for being the right guardian and nurturer and keeper of a space as well. And with the Ten of Cups following that Ace of Pentacles reversed, you may have to make some tough calls for that. Maybe call out some behavior or draw some boundaries around situations that you know are tense. You're addressing elephants in the room that maybe you're doing it in ways that are contrary to what people are used to you doing. You may have to start making some calls, not just on behalf of yourself, on behalf of others, your teammates, your friends, your fellows, your kids, your love life, in order to preserve that peace, that abundance that is coming your way. And sometimes we have to just draw a line in the sand with that and be like, look, no judgment, but that reality doesn't belong in my reality anymore. And so if you, for whatever reason, need to live in that reality, okay, but we're going to have to find another way to connect if we must connect at all. And that's okay to draw that line. You don't have to hold a perfect space so that somebody can come and trash it after they're done feeling good in that space, however they're going to deal with it. And so that's going to be something that you want to keep an eye on throughout the course of this month. As we get on to relationships, love, romance, partnerships, you've got the Magician card upright, and it does look like there is a new journey, a new story that is beginning for you and for partners due to some kind of newfound passion or new life direction that you both want to take together. And this could be something that you take on as a pastime or a new element in this relationship, something that you really want to invest a lot of your energies in, whether it's for a spiritual practice, or maybe it's recreation, maybe it's an art, a hobby, something that you get really geeky over, but it's just, we really love it. And this really strong, powerful, nerdy element just makes things all the more connective here. Some of you may be finding partners are going through a bit of a spiritual level up, a spiritual awakening themselves, or maybe you both are at the same time. Some of you may even be stepping into a space where partners are also coming into their own. They're showing more of their own uniqueness, kind of bringing out more of their less commonly seen or less regularly seen or felt selves, and coming into their own power in that respect. And a lot of you may be finding that both you and a partner could be even embarking on some kind of new business plan or new travel plan, or something that creates sort of a new, maybe not primary, pastime, but some kind of new journey that you are both able to really cash in on together, whether it's material cash in on or immaterial, it doesn't matter. It seems to be really enhancing this relationship. New people, for those of you who are single and available, are going to be providing much of the same opportunity this month, because there is this air of passion, conviction, and discipline and spiritual maturity coming through partners of all kinds, new, existing, and of course, the intended, even starting to take on more of a very deliberate and very mindful approach to all things. And this is going to be very stimulating and very, I would say awakening for a lot of people. And so let's get on to what's happening with the story of the month of September. Well, we start the month with the Two of Swords reversed crossed with the Eight of Swords upright. And you're spending a lot of time, or need to spend a lot of time, paying attention to things that you are bound to, you are wrapped up in, or you are held onto, that is not allowing you the freedom of movement or the opportunity to actually do anything else with your life. Now, this could be high maintenance projects, possibly with that Ace of Pentacles reversed, or the Ten of Swords, things that keep you so busy that you don't have time or energy for anything else. Possibly contracts and commitments that have spoken for too much of your life, too much of your time, too much of your energy. This could also indicate people. And you are really needing to pay attention to where it's time to redraw the parameters about how much energy and how much space you have to work with versus how much you need to take back, because that's going to be, it seems to be dominating way too much at the beginning of this month. It's kind of made a lopsided life, and we have to balance it. And it looks like what's brought this about with the Nine of Cups reversed, and this may be something that even comes up in the last week of August, or maybe even something from further back, is the Nine of Cups reversed. And so there is also this need to pay attention to where this is actually something we might have chosen to do ourselves, something we took on hoping it would grant a wish or fulfill a need, or something that maybe we did think we wanted once upon a time, but it wasn't necessarily true to who we really were. Sometimes it's things we take on because we think, well, it'll get me there, right? It's a means to an end, or it's what I need right now. And maybe it was something that you needed right then and there, right? It was something you needed for a season, not for a lifetime. Maybe with the Nine of Cups reversed, it's something that was very positive once upon a time, but it became excessive and one-dimensional. Either way, it's something that needs to be corrected. As we get on to what's going away, what's leaving, well, we've got the Ace of Wands upright. And this is very much following in that Nine of Cups reversed. This is a month where we have to start making room for new passions that ultimately we crave, we desire, or maybe even we already know what we want, but things that we've lost passion for seem to be still having too much of a say in our lives and taking up too much space in our lives. Because the Ace of Wands upright going away is not a good thing. That leaves us very nonplussed. It leaves us in a space where we're just going in circles. And with the Ace of Wands going away, you may be feeling like a lot of your drive is missing, or you're burnt out. And if you are feeling that, pay attention to why things like that might be going on. Have things become repetitious? Are we maybe not getting the intellectual, spiritual, professional, or even emotional stimulation that we're looking for? Or are we overstimulated? Are we spending time with too many people that are constantly stuck in a holding pattern, or parroting or mirroring the same damn emotions back to each other constantly? How do we get into a space where we are working with that beautiful Fool and Four of Wands and Page of Swords energy that was promised in the beginning of this read? How do we get into a space where we are around the highly capable and working with situations that are ultimately a lot more multifaceted, a lot more multidimensional? The Ace of Wands upright going away is saying there is really no point in trying to revive the duds or try to ride a bike down the road when there's no air in the tire. And in this case, it's saying stop trying to revive things from, again, especially the last maybe 2 to 4 years that ultimately have played their part for you, and allow yourself to begin something new. As we get on to the back half of the month, we have the Seven of Wands reversed and the Tower card reversed. And the middle of this month with the Seven of Wands reversed, I am seeing a lot of you Leo people are going to need to pay attention to where things have gotten a bit out of control, gotten out of hand, especially when it comes to things that are getting away from you, right? We've got a lot on our plate, and it's going to be important to pay attention to what could be going on that is... The reason it's getting away from you is because either A, you haven't had time to work on it, you haven't had time to help it, you haven't had time to nurture it, or B, it was something that was left or taken in the wrong hands. The Seven of Wands reversed is okay. It's just saying that you need to make sure that you can get a handle on it. Also, pay attention to where you might be fighting the wrong battles. All right? Are there things you are working to preserve? Are there things that just need to be let go? Right? With that Ten of Swords and the Ace of Pentacles reversed, are we trying to reform things and redeem things that ultimately just don't belong in our future anymore? The Seven of Wands reversed in the middle of the month is going to show you exactly what that is and what still belongs, what can be redeemed and what can't. And it's not really your responsibility to try and make things passable or everything in the world passable. In fact, as we get onto the Tower card reversed, you're going to start seeing a lot of things in your environment crumble. A lot of things going on around you going through their own transition and collapse, especially the stuff that has been prolonged beyond its natural lifespan, things that were held up, things that were basically kept up to defy an inevitability are starting to go down, and you don't want to be in those spaces or in those situations because you couldn't let things go, or that you couldn't get on with all of this really cool stuff that we have already been talking about this whole time. So pay attention to where you can actually get to work on your own world building, because the external world around you in so many spaces and cases is in the beginning of its own transformation. And this could actually be very liberating, very freeing, and very rewarding for you. But if you are caught in a space of denial or constantly haggling and bargaining and going back for more, you might get hit on the head. And you do not want that with the Tower card reversed. This could be something that you witness from afar, or this could be something you're in the middle of. The choice is yours. So that is what I have got for you, Leo. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. I appreciate it. And should you ever want to get a session with me, go on ahead to my website. It's integrativemysticism.com.